please subscribe. On the off chance that the most recent couple of years felt like the year of the small crossover stuck on rehash, 2019 is quickly turning out to be the year of the three-row SUV. An attack of new sheet metal wearing recognizable names is beginning to hit vendors. In addition to there's a lot of promising new models entering the family disapproved of quarrel. Boss among them? This 2020 Hyundai Palisade. And keeping in mind that cutting-edge vehicles, for example, the Ford Explorer and Toyota Highlander may have more grounded name acknowledgement. In case you're looking for another kinschlepper, this unmistakable-looking hybrid should particularly be close to the highest point of your thought list. Before you ask, truly, the Hyundai Palisade shares auxiliary and powertrain underthings with the Kia Telluride, a model additionally hitting showrooms as you read this. Regardless of being corporate cousins that share inconspicuous bits and bunches of keen tech, these SUVs look totally changed, and they really feel like they're focusing on various purchasers, as well. Cutting-edge plan. While Kia's Telluride is attractive in a progressively upstanding, customary shape, the Palisade's fashioners haven't played it even a tiny bit safe. In all honesty, I've discovered that this current vehicle's crocodile-peered toward front end takes some becoming accustomed to, much the same as my response to other ongoing Hyundai SUVs, from the Santa Fe to the Kona. As those different models have multiplied, in any case, I've discovered I've immediately become accustomed to their irregular grille shapes and novel split/stacked front-end lighting. Truth be told, I'm beginning to truly appreciate seeing them in the city. I expect a similar will be valid for the Palisade quite expeditiously, and I even began to value the manner in which this model looks as my 7-day stretch of testing went on. That affection with commonality thing likely isn't on the grounds that the Palisade gets simpler on the eyes the more you take in to its subtleties and by and large shape. This is on the grounds that this vehicle is so very much built and consistently structured that it prevails upon you with the manner in which it fits into your wild family life. Additionally, in full vessel limited trim, Palisade is sufficiently extravagant to turn Hyundai's still SUV-less Genesis sellers green with envy. Promising bundle. First of all, you should realize that notwithstanding being named a medium size, the 2020 Palisade is huge. Greater than any Hyundai before it, including the active Santa Fe XL, just as the brief Veracruz you likely must Google to recollect. The Palisade rides on another stage, and its size sets it in opposition to section stalwarts, for example, the Explorer and Highlander, just as the Honda Pilot, Volkswagen Atlas, and Subaru Ascent. Note, it's as yet a decent 7 inches shorter than the Leviathan Chevrolet Traverse. If you're acquainted with the Santa Fe XL, realize this new Palisade is apparently beefier in each measurement. It rides on a 4-inch longer wheelbase and ranges 3 inches longer by and large. It stands 2.4 inches taller and it's an astounding 3.6 inches more extensive. Whether or not you're thinking about the base, front-wheel drive Palisade SE, $31,550 in addition to $1,045 conveyance, or the first-rate, limited with track all-wheel drive, $46,400 in addition to conveyance, power comes only from a 3.8-liter normally suction V6 matched to an 8-speed programmed, an association yielding 291 pull and 262 pound-feet of torque. In the event that this skeleton and powertrain mix have a characterizing trademark, it's perfection. The Palisade's capacity conveyance is unsurprising and unfussy, with the defeatable stop-start framework working unpretentiously enough that you may very well leave it on. More person of good taste than competitor. All things considered, regardless of what drive mode setting you select, this is anything but an energetic hybrid in either deed or mean. But since 3-push SUVs work like 21st century minivans off again on again, you're most likely more worried about maintaining a strategic distance from sippy cup spills than corner cutting ability or 0 to multiple times. All things considered, I gauge the last to be around 7.5 seconds, and it's conceivable to dial up sprightlier throttle reactions, firmer transmission shifts and heftier guiding feel when sport is chosen. Additionally, in contrast to Kia's Telluride, the Palisade is accessible with paddle shifters for expanded manual control, valuable on downhill evaluations for bringing motor slowing down or getting ready for a brisk pass. My $47,605 as conveyed limited showed up furnished with discretionary AWD, $1,700, a framework fit for directing up to half of accessible torque to the back wheels. As my drive occurred mid-summer, I unfortunately didn't get the opportunity to survey this current framework's exhibition in blanketed conditions, or in any event, during a decent deluge, yet it worked unpretentiously and submissively consistently. Mileage is entirely serious yet in addition totally unremarkable for the class, with EPA gauges calling for 19 miles for every gallon city, 26 throughway and 22 joint for FWD models. AWD models like my limited run down at 19 city, 24 throughway and 21 consolidated, and dependent on my testing, these figures appear to be achievable. In any event for the occasion, there's no half-breed choice to improve eco-friendliness like the Highlander and Explorer offer. Able hauler. While it's no hardcore rig, the 2020 Hyundai Palisade pulls up with solid towing numbers for this class. A standard transmission cooler, electronic influence control and trailer pre-wiring implies you'll simply require a decent hitch and a trailer with worked-in brakes to tow 5,000 pounds. Restricted models like this one-component auto-leveling back air suspension, another decent element when burden dragging. The Palisade additionally accompanies barely short of 8 crawls of ground leeway, yet it's no 4x4 junkie. You'll be fine for the fire trails prompting Cub Scout campgrounds, underhanded snowstorms and anything rural life can toss at you. However, on the off chance that you need greater capacity, you're going to need a body-on-outline vehicle. Execution or lodge. 3 push hybrids are tied in with conveying limit and comfort, and the Palisade conveys just as anything in its fragment. All seats convey great room, even the third column, which has simple one-contact get-to and a nicely estimated opening that even permits full-size grown-ups to climb back there. Seating is offered in arrangements for 7 or 8 individuals, and on account of the excellent limited model seen here, those seats are shrouded in luxuriously knitted Napa cowhide. Both the front and second push seats include warming and cooling. The second push seats are especially pleasant on the grounds that they're raised for better forward perceivability, and the rooftop-mounted HVAC channels include cunning wide scattering pipes to control awkwardly coordinate wind stream. In contrast to the Telluride, the Hyundai highlights a by-wire push-button shifter. I will in general find such things gimmicky, inclining toward the instinct of conventional PRNDL gear shifts, yet the Palisade's unit is anything but an awful execution of this kind of selector. It considers an enormous void under the skimming community reassure to suit totes and tissue boxes. Truth be told, there's huge amounts of extra room to be found in the Palisade, alongside a gathering of cup holders, USB ports, remembering some keenly mounted ones for the seatbacks for second push inhabitants, etc. On the off chance that I have a critical protest about the Lodge, it's the principal cup holders. They highlight a spring-stacked retractable support that can be collapsed off the beaten path for more cubby space. That is extraordinary on a basic level, yet these cup holders are non-adjustable and not horribly pleasing at various measured drinks. Criticizing? Maybe. Yet, in a vehicle that is about family disapproved of comfort, it's an irritating and not inconsequential planned flub that adversaries manage without. Other missing highlights incorporate an accessible Wi-Fi hotspot and backseat diversion, despite the fact that nowadays, tablets are less expensive, progressively flexible and less inclined to out-of-date quality. Premium desires. Something else, the Palisade offers a model lodge that is stacked with class-above materials, particularly in limited trims which likewise get such amenities as a micro-suede main event encompassing a double-component moonroof, Harman Kardon premium sound, a force-collapsing third line, a class irregularity, and an incredible head-up show. The single greatest overhaul might be going from lower-end models' 8-inch infotainment touchscreens to this 10.25-inch widescreen. All Palisade head units are instinctive and include standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto incorporation, yet the bigger showcase is more pleasant and accompanies 2-source Bluetooth, in addition to a reconfigurable, completely advanced check punch. I'd venture to such an extreme as to propose that in this high-content limited trim, the Palisade feels just as premium as any Acura RDX, Buick Enclave, Infiniti QX60 or Lexus RX 350 liters, and it highlights more brilliant and simpler to utilize lodge tech than every one of them. Indeed, even in its most costly pretense, the Palisade isn't simply worth the cash, it verges on being a certified deal. There's likewise a decent measure of load space on offer. One of the cardinal sins of numerous 3-push hybrids is that when each seat is consumed, there's no space for whatever else. The old Santa Fe XL was liable of this, yet Hyundai clearly took in the blunder of its ways. The Palisade conveys a helpful 18 cubic feet of capacity behind the third column, and there's more than 45 cubic feet with the waybacks collapsed. Flop the second push situates down, and you have more than 86 shapes accessible. Security first, second and third. As you'd expect with a family disapproved of vehicle, the Palisade is stuffed to phalanx of well-being highlights. BCA, RCCA, ROA, LKA, DA, C, HDA, ABS, Escape, TCS, BA, VSM, TPMS, SRS. With OCS, there's a greater number of shortenings on the Palisade spec sheet than I have the space or tolerance to clarify. Obviously, even base SE models accompany forward crash notice, programmed crisis slowing down with person on foot discovery, auto high bars, versatile voyage control, path keep help and back stopping sensors. The Palisade is accessible with a bunch of other propelled driver help frameworks, as well, including 360-degree camera inclusion, back inhabitant alert, so you don't abandon Junior or Rover unplanned.